This episode of Soul Decodes is pre-recorded, but Sarah and Tia Jolie felt it compelling enough to share with you today. We hope you agree.
The following Earth Angel Media presentation is brought to you commercial-free as a gratuity from the sponsor producer named after the show. Please consider their message. Find other high-value shows listed at earthangelproject.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to Soul Decodes. Join us as we wander off the path to find the ideas that fascinate. We talk about spirituality, the mind, the ego, wellness, and hidden history with tips, travels, and tales. Charms for a better life.
This is fantastic. I think we're on the air.
Are we? That's good.
It's been so crazy. It's so good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
You look all bright and sunny.
Yeah, I'm doing very well. I'm quite tired because being on a cruise for 4 days.
I know. The life you live. It's so crazy. So welcome, everybody, to the show. My name is Dr. Tia Jolie Phillips, and we're here at Phillips Island in the beautiful Treehouse studio. Many of you know our guest. You know, she's actually the owner of this podcast, which is Soul Decodes. She's a writer, a philosopher, and a thinker. And for me, she's a dear friend.
Oh,
I just love having you here. I always look forward to this.
Me too. This is great.
What is on your mind today? What do you want to catch up on?
Well, how have you been? So anyway, so I had this cruise. That was lovely, but totally indulge. It's such a hedonistic nightmare.
Did you eat too much?
Yes, I did.
Did you drink too much?
No, I didn't drink too much. I did drink wine every day. I had some wine, but it was I love bread, and I don't have bread that much.
Okay.
And so I had a lot of bread and butter, and I'm heavy on the butter.
So. Oh, the butter. Was the butter from?
It was lovely. It was. I didn't recognise the brand, and they had it at perfect room temperature, and it was so yellow and creamy. Oh. Maybe it was Mexican butter. Whatever the cow was, that was a good.
You don't even. Did you just take a spoonful of the butter and just eat it?
I love butter. I was raised on butter.
Really?
Yeah. My mum didn't cook with any oils. It was butter or lard.
Okay, I'll go with the butter, not the lard.
And the pig fat. You're close the door at the pig fat.
Right? Yeah, no. So, well, I'm excited to have you back. There's so many things happen while you're gone.
What happened?
Well, the beginning
I feel like a drum roll. There needs to be a drum roll.
The beginning of the month, we had a note from our internet service provider, because we live, as you know,
in the boondocks.
Way out here. Like when your closest neighbor is a horse, that's pretty far out there. So we live out here in really the edge of nowhere. But
but with $1 million homes all around you.
Well, but I would say people say the edge of nowhere, but the truth is we feel like we're at the center of everywhere. So it's so beautiful out here, and we have a 2-acre lake in the back, and birds and bees.
I haven't seen this lake yet.
Birds and bees and butterflies. It's so pretty out here.
Have you been on the lake? Have you rowed on it?
Well, no, it's just a.
Is it a pond?
It's more like a pond.
And
like
you fish? Oh, you don't fish though. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I had a drummer, a former drummer of mine. Do you mind if I fish through his? He's 70 now, but
did he catch anything?
He caught this huge bass. He said, "I've been fishing all my life. This is the healthiest bass." He said it's so healthy it had almost its gum line looked like it had teeth. He said it was the best bass he's ever caught.
And did he throw it back or did he eat it?
Yeah, I'm not going to let him eat my bass.
No, I was going to say that wouldn't be you, would it, on your property?
So anyway, beginning of the month we had this note that our internet service provider was going to no longer do business with us.
With you, or
no,
the street?
With the whole street.
Right.
Anyone who had this, and all of us are like, we have no service out here. There's no cable, there's no anything. So out of the blue, we got this. And they
just arbitrarily say it's not
well,
cost effective for them,
he's a young entrepreneur, and he's like, okay, I made some good money, and he's got a young family. He just wants to move along. And I respect that, but that kind of leaves us in a lurch.
Yes.
So we're all talking about, okay, what's best? What's the next best? And everyone's like...
So you're going to move house?
So, no, I'm not leaving here. Actually, I'll always have this. We'll have more other places.
For sure. This will be your anchor.
This will just be like an anchor, just for growing stuff. So we're looking around, and everyone's trying to get their stuff. Well, we're so remote that the signal from the tower that we had, because the signal that we used to get was from a tower that was bounced off of a neighbor's house to our house. So it was like a relay to get to us. So we're so far out. There was like a tower that was transmitting to a house that was relayed to our
Beaming
house.
off a mirror.
It was seriously like a mirror. So anyway, so long and short was my neighbor ended up like getting his service from someplace, like HughesNet or something like that. During the process, they actually cut the cable that relayed to my house.
Oh.
So we ended up losing a signal just like that, gone.
Yeah,
and
so it was tenuous to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually been a really good connection. The service was amazing. I was quite disappointed that they were going away, but people live their lives and they have to do their thing. Well, anyway, so this guy, my neighbor, cut the cable, and I'm like, okay. Now, Robin, she had so much work to do. She was literally like, she literally cried. She was like, no.
Yeah,
because she's
so
like
frustrating.
It's so busy in her world right now.
And that's so frustrating. It's happened to me. It's like this. They just couldn't come at a worse time.
I know. It's like, and I just told her, give it some space.
Yeah.
Everything's be fine.
Yeah.
The neighbor who cut the cable.
Is he a friendly neighbour?
Well, so no. I mean,
did he know he'd cut the cable? Did he come to tell you, or did you discover it?
We just discovered it. So we're in a place now where it's like, okay, I don't say negative things to people, but there's certain people.
But your rapport just isn't there.
But there's no. It's not because I haven't tried. Mm-hmm. We want to have friends. We want all of our neighbors to be friendly, but. We can be friendly to people, but if they're not friendly back, there's not much you can do about it. No. And, they have different preconceived notions about who people should be,
Please.
And if you don't conform to who they say
now you're my
be,
enemy, kind of.
It's like all or nothing.
Yeah.
It's like you're either one of us or you're not. And it's like, well, no, I'm just I'm a we the people.
I'm me.
I'm the we the people. I don't have to wear one color or wear the other color.
I think people find it's a security for them, because if they can peg you, put you in this space, then they can predict your behaviour somehow, and that means they somehow feel safe with you, because it's a very petty thing to do, to say you've got to think and be more like me in order for me to befriend you, and it has to be a sign of weakness.
And I can't.
Because I just don't give a shit. Just do you, boo.
Well,
I mean, it's just like it's so.
And again, I don't have the answer because I've tried.
I think it's a security issue. I think
he
he just needs to be. Life needs to be predictable, and he needs to group people into his way of thinking, his way of being, because this gives him security somehow.
So we here we are with the cut cable, and we're like, okay, we're going to be without internet for 10 days because
is that what you thought?
Well, we decided on to go with Starlink,
Okay.
And because they had a great deal.
Yeah. Is it more expensive?
It's like $120 a month.
Right.
I mean, that's like less expensive than what some of my neighbors have, but it's also more expensive than what we did have by like only $10 or so. Because it's hard to get a signal out here. But so anyway, we're like, okay, what do we do? This guy clearly, like, I don't know if it's this guy, but I think it's his wife. Like, everyone's accountable for themselves, but they don't even like really say hello. They're like, you could walk 20 feet from them and they won't even say hello. So a lot of our neighbors do. They're just beautiful. They'll go out of their way to say hello to you, and so it's just a one-off thing where it just happens to be this guy. So, and in the South, I used to get, it was so funny because like, I don't want to be that person where, the Southern girls, the Southern belles, they would say, oh, so-and-so, she is this and she's that and she wears this and can you believe this and all of this negative stuff. And then at the end of it, they say, bless her soul. It's like as if that's supposed to remember everything. But so I don't want to be that person. And as a rule, I don't say things about people that I wouldn't say to themselves.
Yes.
So these
let's go and knock on his door. Let's bring him in. Let's bring him in on the podcast.
No, I've already said this stuff. So
what did you have to tell him then?
I've told him very clearly. It's like I don't know what I have to do to be a good neighbor to you, but
with regards to the cable.
Oh no! So what we did was I called the cable service provider. I said, okay, look, you drop a bomb on us that we don't have cable, 30 days from now, and then my service drops off. At this time, I didn't know that this guy cut the cable, so I'm like,
you
so
thought it was the company.
So he says, well, I told you we're not going to support anything, but I'll troubleshoot this for you. I'm like, thank you, because I already paid you for the month. So he says, oh yeah, it's your neighbor. It's
that's good. They could localize it.
So the guy, I have a kid that comes by once a month once a week for 6 hours.
Yeah.
And I just pay him cash. I pay him really well, but
Good.
But he keeps coming back, and I just have he's a burly kid, and I just have him helping me on the farm with some of this.
Well, you need it.
Some of the big stuff that I don't really want to do, right? And he's happy to do it. Take my cash and go.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
but it turned out that he was working at my neighbor's house. He actually fixed the wire. He literally, because when you take care of people, they take care of you. So what this kid did was he took the wires that were cut, and he actually pieced them back together.
Plaited them all back together.
He literally, because there was a Cat 5 cable, so I don't know whether there's 10 or 12 pairs in there.
Right.
I don't even know how many wires there are.
Weaving a basket.
So he basically took every single wire and he pieced them together. Now, the interesting thing is, last week, prior to this wire cut, I had given him probably about $80 worth of nutrition just for him, because his wife was suffering with some stuff.
Right.
I said, well, give her this and this and this, because she needs to have stronger bones. So I gave him, I said, just take this. I want you to have it. That's really nice. So I just gave it to him. So that's the universe balancing itself, because I just gave him
what you sow.
I just gave him the stuff for his wife to help her feel better. She actually, her bones were so brittle, she broke both of her feet.
Just really? Doing what? Just something normal?
Jumping down from something.
Really?
Or getting down from something. So
is that a lack of calcium?
We're going to go off on a tangent here.
We are.
But basically,
we'll come back. We'll come back to your grouchy old neighbor.
Well, he's actually, I love everybody, and he's got drama and he's got things in his world. So
I think the thing is, you can't take it personally.
Bless his soul.
You just can't take it personally. You just live your life, and
when somebody's got brittle bones,
don't get offended by it.
When somebody's got brittle bones, the first question I ask them is
your mind brittle?
Well, close. How do you deal with stress?
Yeah.
Because if you're always under stress, I can give you the best nutrients in the world, but if you're always under stress, then you're going to be in what's called stress dominance, which stresses your adrenals. Your adrenals are great if you're trying to run away from a bear.
Yeah.
Under peacetime, when you're not at war and there's no bear chasing you, if you're stressed about what the Kardashians are wearing, or if you're stressed about the stupid neighbor, if you let those things get to you, the chemicals that your body produces endogenously, which is from within, will actually become very acidic. It'll acidify your body, your tissue, your blood, and your body wants you to be not acidic. So what it's going to do is it's going to surrender whatever it can to neutralize your alkalinity, or your pH, which is your acidity alkalinity. So it's going to neutralize that. Well, the number one resource your body has to neutralize that stress, that would be the acidity that comes from stress, as well as other things, is the calcium from your bones.
Really? So it takes it from there?
So it literally leaches. So it's not necessarily that people
have a calcium deficiency. It's the body is poaching it from another area.
Literally, your body's acidic because your diet, because your lifestyle, because you drink too much. You're married to somebody that is always stressing you out, and you need to kind of make some decisions. You're maybe eating ice cream every day, or processed foods, whatever it is. You're becoming acidic, and stress is one of them. It's a major one.
Yeah.
But if you're always acidic, then your body's going to leach. And a lot of people say, well, I drink milk every day. Well, excuse me, but the milk you're drinking today is not the same milk that your grandmother's mother, your great-grandmother had right off the farm.
Yes. When
you pasteurize milk, when you homogenize it, you warm that protein, you denature the milk. Milk by itself, an adult human doesn't need
Do you
milk.
drink milk? How do you get your calcium?
From the ground.
Yeah, from plants.
Spinach, plants, kale. Yeah. I mean, kale. You can get calcium from moringa, from just by eating moringa leaves. Huh. I mean, there's so many places for calcium. But there's a big lie that you need milk to get calcium. It's actually the opposite. If you drink milk and eat dairy and eat cheese, those actually acidify you, and I'll challenge anybody.
Now, we're doing this to babies. So the babies have their mother's milk, which obviously has to be good. And then we put them on milk.
Well, the mother's milk is great.
Yeah, but after that, they don't really need milk then.
Right. Yeah. So let's double back to that. So let's close the shop on...
Yeah. So you've got your internet back.
It's your
the guy fixed the cable. That was good.
Yeah. So anyway, my guy fixed the cable, and that was all good. So Any other questions about that? 'Cause
No.
Okay.
So when do you get your Starlink in?
So that's the other thing.
Will that dovetail so you won't be
so
off?
that's the other thing
Can't
is-
stress Robin out anymore.
Well, no, it's funny because I told her, I said, we're going to make it happen. So we went to the coffee
You can come to
shop
my
and-
place. I'll rent you mine.
Can I rent your
I'll rent you my office.
Can I rent your studio? No, it should be up. They said it might take to the end of the month, but I just got a FedEx notification that it's inbound. So
Oh, good.
hopefully next time we broadcast, I'll...
So Ray gets up. He's our friend, mutual friend.
yeah.
Ray. He gets up and he watches the Starlink. And actually, it's at night time, I think. And he watches this whole Starlink go into space. And he tried to get pictures of it, and I didn't see it. But this is Elon Musk's contraption.
Yeah, I call him Elon Mask.
Elon Musk. Okay.
Mask, like
Mask.
wearing a mask.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's very strange South African, isn't he?
Well, yeah, I don't think...
Is he a good guy? We don't want to slam Elon Musk. I mean, he's doing great things with his life, I'm assuming.
Well, I mean, the person you see is not, I don't think the original Elon Musk. I think you have to ask questions about what you're actually seeing. Way back when Trump was president, you saw this thing with North Korea where North Korea was threatening with their rockets and Trump was always talking about
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, everyone thought he was talking about Rocket Man, North Korea dictator, but he was really talking about the original Elon Musk
Oh, interesting.
as the Rocket Man because the original Elon Musk was a traitor and he was supposedly selling state secrets.
Jesus.
So question that. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Maybe I'm
Gosh.
wrong. But I do have plenty of pictures and photographs of what we think is Elon Musk wearing a mask. So there's lots of
it's
masks.
too weird for words, though, because
It is
how do you
weird,
know
yeah.
anything? You just can't. You'd have to do a lot of research. For me to try and uncover him would take me weeks and weeks,
Right.
40 hours a week. And I'm not that fucking interested, to be honest, because
Well-
I've got bigger fish to fry. But you can't, unless you can verify something with a massive amount of research. I mean, me with my books, 25 years on this subject
Right.
of constant research, and it never ends. It goes
Well,
on all the time.
And you blew my mind with, like, when I first saw your library, I'm like, what? This is phenomenal. Like, you've read more books probably this month than I have in my life. I mean,
I listen to a lot of audio now.
do you?
Yes, I do that. And I listen to it throughout the night because I'll wake up at 2 a.m. and then I go back to sleep. I listen to some audio. But the weird thing that's happening to me, so I'll put this audio on, right? And then I'll fall back to sleep. And then the audio is incorporated in my dream. And then there's a character in my dream talking to me, but it's the audio. Now, a few things can happen. Either I get really pissed off because I can't shut him up and I want to kill him in my dream, or I'm asking him questions, but he's not answering me because it's just a recording. And so he's carrying on talking. So in my dream, I'm sitting down and I'm listening to like a guru in my dream. And then there's other dreams where I just get up and walk away because I'm not interested in what. But I thought that's very interesting. So that's going into my subconscious and coming out in a dream. So I'm actually careful what I listen to. So now I'm listening to very, very complicated quantum mechanics because if that's going into my subconscious and it's coming out in a dream, what am I learning subconsciously?
Well, I mean, this is a really interesting conversation because what is conversation? Like you and I are having a conversation, which is a meaningful exchange of ideas. And when you look at communication, the communication model, there's a sender, a receiver, a mode. Like the mode would be I'm talking through the air,
Okay.
through the mic here, but through the air. There's a message, and most importantly, there's feedback. So even if it's like you looking and going, or nodding with your eyes, yes, I get it. That's feedback. When you're listening to something at night, the frustration is that you're getting one way. It's not really communication per se, because you're trying to give it feedback. You're trying to say,
I'm trying to ask him questions.
You're trying to ask, or you're trying to tell him to shut up and go.
Well, the shut up one happened because I thought his idea was really dumb, and I had a much better idea of what it could look like, and he wouldn't fucking listen. It was so frustrating.
Like, you feel like smacking.
And I did, and I really did. I think I might have actually got my hands close to his neck. And then I woke up.
Oh my
But it's an
God.
interesting mechanism for this to be. So I'm receiving this coming out in a dream.
Well, but that's my point. Like,
So what am I learning? What's going on in my mind?
Well, what you're learning is that first of all, what I hear is that you, as a sovereign divine soul, you want to be heard.
Yeah.
And
But sometimes,
we're frustrated.
But
when
in
we're
the
not
dream,
heard.
in the dream, sometimes I'm sitting on a couch and I'm listening, and I'm really happy to be listening, and I'm taking it all in. So that would have had to have been a good podcast I was listening to. So it's not like I need to be heard all the time. In this one dream where I nearly throttled him, it was because I thought his idea had so many flaws that I wanted mine to be heard. But sometimes, and it's more often than not, I'm just soaking it up in a dream. But in this dream, I mean, I was on this couch, I was in this room, I was eating some candy, I was sipping some wine, there's butterflies, so it's a real thing, this dream.
Welcome to my world.
So I'm programming myself at the moment with heavy-duty concepts to see whether this weighs into my subconscious in a way, and see when I next write, because I'm going into a writing binge when I go to England,
awesome.
whether this comes out. So that's been
That's so cool.
interesting.
So I've never been that person that can fall asleep listening to a recording. Maybe I can be in the future, but I also never really wanted to be, because I treasure my sleep so much. Like,
Well, I'm definitely sleeping because I'm dreaming, so I must be in REM sleep.
good.
So I'm hardcore in a sleep.
That's fascinating. So,
Let's listen to something. We'll work it out what we listen to together, and before you have to be tired, and then let's just see what happens. We'll both listen to it and tell me whether this comes up in your dream.
So are you talking about like a specific recording?
Yeah, we'll find something.
All right.
I don't know what it would
So
be.
you know
That's
what's
something we're
fascinating?
mutually interested in.
My dreams have been really weird lately. Like I like cats. Okay. But I can't be around them because they make me itch.
Yeah.
And my eyes itchy and stuff and sneezy and stuff. So, but I really like them. I think they're cool animals. Like
Yes.
I kind of like their attitude. They're like,
Yeah.
they're kind of like there but not there.
Very
They're
aloof.
They're very aloof.
Yeah,
But
and they'll love you if they feel like being loving.
but they're also like we have one in the back. He's so adorable. He's jet black, and he's like burly with a long tail. He looks like a baby Florida panther.
Oh, wow.
In fact, he might be. I don't even know.
Oh, my goodness.
But he's so adorable.
And he lives out by himself?
Oh yeah, we have a lot of cats out.
So he's eating lizards and mice,
Oh
fish?
yeah, we love our cats. They're just wild, and
Well, there's plenty to eat.
they take care of they literally take care of the farm.
Yeah.
They're so important.
You'd have mice otherwise.
Oh well, probably. I mean,
Yeah, I have
wish
them in
they'd
my
take care of
house.
some of my squirrels because the squirrels are eating my watermelons.
Oh, but he
before I get
he
them.
needs to attack the nest.
Well, but this we had this Black Panther. He's so pretty and so beautiful, and I just love watching him like stalk.
Yes.
You know, so in my dream, I had this white cat. Now, it wasn't mine. It was just one that came to visit me, right?
So you were here in your dream.
This is, well, I don't know where I was. I don't even know if I was on Earth. I was somewhere.
God, who the
But
fuck
all I
knows?
know is I had this interaction with this white cat, and it was adorable, and it understood me, and it just wanted to be loved. It wanted to come up to, but and it was the most pristine, beautiful white, gorgeous eyes, and it just totally understood me. That's the thing. That's what was cool about it, is the cat understood
So
me.
you were telepathically communicating.
But this is but here's the part. Oh, this is so much my life. This cat was my life.
Tia Jolie's about to have a breakdown for anyone listening.
This, as much as I love this cat, and it was like everything to me, when it came up and it snuggled with me, like it would like hug me.
Yeah.
And when it hugged me, its little claws were like not just claws; they were like razor blades.
Oh.
And it was like, and they were like sharp, and they weren't on just the paws; they were like up its arms and stuff.
Holy shit, it's
and
like
I'm
a
like,
reptile.
I'm like, girlfriend,
Yeah.
you can't be doing that. And it just, it wanted to be by me so much. It was grabbing my legs and stuff, and I was just like, okay, I had to let it go. I had to,
Because it was harming you.
because it was like, and it's so much like relationships. It was so metaphoric. It's like,
Right.
there's so many people, so many times.
So you
where-
love this cat, you wanted it to be a part of you,
and
but it
the
couldn't
cat-
be because it's putting you in danger.
It was very, very excruciating. And as much as I love the
Are
cat.
you dripping blood in this dream?
No. It was more painful, but
Right.
I wasn't bleeding out or anything, but it was just very, very painful.
And now you couldn't handle the cat.
And as much as I wanted the cat to be in my world,
Yeah, it couldn't.
I had to let it go, and it was
Yeah.
really painful.
Yeah.
It was painful to have the cat there physically, but it was also painful to let it go
Let it go,
because I
yeah.
love the cat. So
Yeah.
kind of a weird dream, but I was trying to think the meaning of it. So although I wasn't listening to a recording, I oftentimes wake up and try to interpret, what does that even mean?
Yes. And what's the message for you? What does it mean? And if it's a metaphor for letting people go who can't be in your life, why is that useful to you now? Why are you dreaming that? Right? So it could be with some things that you've got going on in your life. And it's there to shore you up. It's there to give you clarity over something. I would think, because I think dreams, I mean, I'm not a huge person about going into dream and reading dream books. A lot of people think it's fascinating. I do, because I don't know what this realm is, and it's as real as any other realm. I mean, it's as real as this, my dreams. And what is this realm? And in the Bible, it's like God's got many mansions. You could do a ayahuasca trip. You could do LSD. You're going into... So where is it we're going every night for 8 hours? That part's fascinating. Yeah. And then why is it useful to us? There has to be some use in. I think we work out, I think you can be inspired by dreams. I think you can problem solve in your dreams. I think you can act scenarios out in your dreams that you don't have to in real life because you won't induce the karma. It's like a karmic-free zone where you can express yourself without inducing karma. That would be a nice buffer to have. But it's got to be useful.
Back up and tell me what you just said.
Okay, so if you're in a dream and it's a violent dream, I'm assuming there's no karma involved, because a dream to me feels like you're in some type of matrix. And so supposing in your dream you end up having an argument with someone, if you do that in real life, there's going to be karma involved. If you've upset that person, if they've upset someone else, it's all a very fine balance. But in your dreams, perhaps you can work out issues in a karma-free environment. It's just an idea. I've not heard that.
No,
it's
that's
just,
fascinating.
But there has to be a reason for dreaming. It has to be useful to us and productive to some degree.
Well, I think everything is useful and productive. Just because we don't understand something doesn't mean it's not to our benefit.
Right.
And that's like this dream with the white cat. Same thing. It's like, well, why did I experience this?
Yeah.
The question is, what we have to do is continue to question things. As I'm doing with Studio 17, I call my interviews inner views.
Inner views.
Inner views. Because I don't always just want to talk about the creator, like what this person created. It's like if they're an inventor. I think it's great that they talk about their invention, or what they wrote, or the artwork they did, or whatever. I do want to cover what they did, but more importantly, I want to get inside of them.
Who they are.
And figure out who they are, what inspired them, why did they move that direction. It's my position in this space that everything is good. That might sound really sophomoric, but...
No, I don't think... I think everything is good. And I think if we understand reality to a greater level, we can see that everything is good. But you can't have a postage stamp view. You've got to pull back and you've got to see the bigger picture. And that's what I tended to do. When I went through this stuff with my mum, I pulled right back and looked at the bigger picture, and everything is good. And you can magnetize good. You can create good. It all has to start in your mind. You were talking earlier about this lady that has the calcium deficiency.
Sure.
And I said, she has a brittle mind. You've got to control your mind. You've got to control what you think about. You have to be disciplined. You can't just have a load of junk going on in your head. And if you can control your thoughts and you think uplifting, pure thoughts, or you think about... I mean, you and I are very ambitious, and we probably give a lot of thought to what it is we're trying to pull off in this life. That's a very healthy way of thinking. But I think life is good, but I think it's dependent on whether we have a healthy thought life.
You brought some books here and things like that. I don't know.
So I go into my library.
I don't know how long you want to go to.
No, so I just want to read. I want to read something out. Let's just do another 5 minutes of this.
Sure. No, it's your podcast. You just tell me what you want.
So I go into my library, and that's where I found this book I gave you, and I got this one. This is called Blended Medicine, and this is the best choices in healing. And so what I do when I go into my library, I look for a book, but I'm kind of guided on the inside. So I'll go to a specific shelf and I run my hands, and whatever book comes out, I always feel like this is for me, that there's my higher self is somehow linked to all the information I have. So I pluck this book out, and I just want to read you a paragraph.
Sure.
Because it's a very short one.
Does the book have pictures?
No, darling, but it's got an ear. It's got a picture of an ear.
Oh, it's a chapter book, too. It's a chapter book.
So
I'm into chapter books now, even if they don't have pictures.
So this is the chapter 14, music, sounds that soothe the soul. So this is what I read. Opinions vary as to why music has such a profound effect on humans. At least some of its therapeutic powers come from its ability to trigger the release of endorphins, the powerful opiate-like chemical produced in the brain that induces euphoria and relieves pain. In fact, researchers have discovered that if they administer drugs that block the production of endorphins, they significantly blunt a person's enjoyment of music. So I've listened to music all my life. My mum played Radio 1, and that was wonderful. It was always a backdrop, and it was always the hits. And then the DJ, he always played whatever song he liked, and he could make an artist. If he played you for a few weeks in the morning, you were guaranteed a #1 hit. So music has been my backdrop. And I didn't realise, and then it's to do with endorphins. So it's releasing something. So I really think that music has helped me be fit and healthy. And I listen to it a lot. I've got my own radio station, so that's pretty indulgent. So I was listening to that last night. But I think it's significant that people, my husband's father didn't listen to music, but he had a hearing problem and he didn't like it. And I wonder how therapeutic it really is, and that maybe people should be introduced to music more. And I think we'll go into this on the next podcast, because I'd like to skirt back to this, the Light Age Church of Transformation. Sure. But music should be a big part of therapy. And it doesn't have to be in an environment other than your own bed. It could be in a bubble bath. But it sounds to me that music is having a profound effect on some stimulation in our brain, which is causing us to be healed and well.
Totally. Yeah. Again, on my podcast, I'm going to be featuring people who use music for those purposes. It's very exciting. And one of them I spoke about last week, she's all in. She just responded and said, yes, we're going to do this. The idea of sounds, everything is energy. So when I project something to you, I'm using sound as a conveyance of my conscious intention. So my consciousness, I have different ways to express my consciousness in this three-dimensional space. Sound and music is one of them. I want to say this about music. I like rock and roll. I'm a Detroit girl.
Yeah, I
through
love
and
rock
through.
and roll.
It's just like I love the energy, the vibration. You know, and a lot of people will say, rock and roll evil. I'm like, you know what? If it brings me joy and happiness and it makes me dance and it makes me jump up and down and it
excites you.
If it excites me, then that is okay.
Yeah.
But everything's got a season. Like if you listen to enough rock and roll for a day, then sometimes you need to chill out.
Need some Beethoven.
Or listen to the silence of nature.
Yes.
Listen to the beautiful trees.
Yeah.
So I think it's not so much like these people are all categorical, like rock and roll bad. Well, I think that's a psyop. I think rock and roll.
I mean, you can get some shitty rock and roll, but it's so many good rock songs.
But I mean, there's crappy country music.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
crappy everything.
There's crappy everything. There's some good, like a lot of rock and rollers. They say, oh, disco. Back in the day, disco sucks.
Oh, I love it. I love disco, pop,
really cool
country,
disco.
anything. I love rap.
Yeah, and there's some really good rap.
Yeah,
when you really listen to rap.
Well, the poetry in rap I love.
The poetry, it's almost like when you listen to the rap and the words, it's almost like an opera. Some of it sucks. I'm just going to
Sure.
Like if they're telling about shooting cops and stuff, I have no interest in that. Like that's ridiculous. When you listen to some of the lyrics and some of the beautiful things that come from those, you have to say, okay, I'm going to keep a space for that. Like, so my point is, anybody who says categorically that this type of music is good for you or bad for you, there's no really categoricals. If it serves Sarah, if it brings you joy and it brings you happiness,
But it's doing something in your brain. It's stimulating the release of endorphins.
Totally. Well,
so we're supposed to be listening to it.
Well, yeah, and what you're supposed to do is just kind of listen to your body and say, does this resonate? Is this what I need at this place and time?
Yeah.
Is this what I need? And if so, why? And music does have that. Like if you listen back in the day, you know, any country has got their like national anthem, and you listen to their anthem and it evokes this sense of patriotism and love of country and all this stuff.
And any emotion. I mean, it can just go anywhere.
So you can listen to those things, but also you have to question those things too. Like, okay, this is eliciting this sense of patriotism. My country is better than your country. Okay, that's fine, but let's question that too. The music can be positive. It can also be it can also mobilize some masses to a direction that maybe is
has
not
a
really a
hypnotic
good
effect.
thing.
Yeah, get the mob rallied. Yeah.
There's that. I just throw that out there. I do have a book I gave to my brother up in Chicago. He's an audio engineer. And it talks about the music of nature, about the wavelengths, about how different frequencies and different octaves and different harmonics do different things. And we actually have the work from over 150 years ago. This guy he had his laboratory raided. He had all of his stuff taken. He was discredited. But his name was Dr. Royal Rife. Royal Raymond Rife.
Wow.
And he had this technology, he called it the Rife machine. This is back before electron microscopes. And he would take these compound lenses, and I think it was 11 to 15 layers of lenses, where it would magnify to the degree that with his naked eye, he could see under the microscope individual cells of cholera, malaria, right? Like he could see the individual cells. And what he would do is he would use sound frequencies, and he would find that he could, because everything's got a resonant frequency, right? Like you have a resonant frequency, this room does, everything's got a resonance. And just like, an opera singer can destroy a glass.
Yes.
They find the frequency, they sing that frequency, and it destroys the glass because that's the resonant frequency.
I'd love to be able to do that.
He could do that with cells. What he was doing is he'd take cholera as an example, look at it under a microscope, find the resonant frequency that stopped it, so it stopped moving, and that was the resonant frequency. And I think it was the 11th harmonic. He would take the 11th harmonic, and that would burst it. So he could freeze it and burst it with these complementary frequencies. Well, he did, and he didn't consider it a success until he could do it 100 times in a row without a failure.
Yeah.
So he did this with malaria. He did this with all of these diseases of the day, and he just was able to freeze, and it didn't even affect the surrounding cells. So you could literally
localize it. Yeah.
You could localize something, a pathogen, and kill it without affecting any of the other cells. This is pretty novel, and this is definitely a risk to the early pharmaceutical industry. This was a challenge to the people who made money on you being
who
sick.
wants to profit out of you.
They want to profit on you. They want you to use these petroleum-based chemicals.
So they shut him down? They sabotaged him?
They totally destroyed him. Same way they destroyed Nikola
Tesla.
Nikola Tesla. They took all of his stuff. They pretty much made him broke and destitute, and then he supposedly jumped out of a window.
Oh, did he? Jesus.
Yeah.
I think that would be harder to do today. It would be harder to shut someone down today and ruin their livelihood.
Well, I think the deployment of the internet changed our lives. Yeah. It actually saved the world.
That's good.
It really did save the world, and I think it was a military white hat deployment. I don't think this technology was supposed to be for us. I believe that the internet technology was given to us to save us.
By whom?
I don't really know.
The powers that be? Or by an institution of some kind?
My opinion is mine, but I believe it's I believe it was the NSA, which we call it the No Such Agency because it's kind of behind the scenes. But that was a benevolent gesture then to allow the internet to... Yeah, I think the NSA was taken over by some really, really good people who love humans, who love America, who love Zaire, who love Iran. They love all people. And that's what people are not getting in today's day and age. We the people is not an American thing. We the people means that if you're in Chad and you're the president or the premier or the king of Chad, you should be taking care of your people. Your people are we the people of Chad or Germany or Australia. Yeah. Every country should take care of their people. And so what we're seeing now is this, and you won't know this unless you research it, but there's behind the scenes this military alliance. It's been in place since before 2010, and it's about bringing forth goodness in the world and getting rid of the dastardly people who literally lied, cheated, stealed, pillaged, raped.
I love that. Good.
Oh, yeah, and you'll see this is happening. So what I will say is for listeners is do your part locally. Take care of your family. Take care
nice.
of your people.
Yeah.
Love the people who are around you. Work from a position of abundance, not scarcity.
Right, very important.
Try to grow things and do things and amplify the
Life
things.
affirming.
Amplify the things that bring joy and goodness and happiness. And if there's something that has got a deleterious aspect in
What
your
does that
life,
mean, deleterious? That's a great word.
something that
It's not good.
takes away from or deletes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Something that is
Yeah.
negative or deletes.
Yeah.
I don't know if somebody can
Depletes.
look it up.
It removes something,
It removes.
maybe.
It's
Great
got
word.
if something's got a deleterious effect, that means it takes away from.
Right.
If something serves you, then let it resonate and share it with others. If it doesn't, then let it pass you by.
Yeah.
What we've learned from the farm by working here on the farm is you can work from abundance. How many seeds are in a watermelon? Well, whatever, 100? I don't know. How many watermelons are in a seed?
Yeah.
Right? So
Gosh, yeah.
when you think about abundance, and like Robin, right now, our kitchen counter, we've got several types of basil that went to seed. These are wild basil. She's got like 15 types of basil.
And do you keep the seeds?
Yeah, well, we replant from seeds and from cuttings.
And then do you keep the seeds because you can keep a seed in a drawer for 4,000 years and you
Yeah.
could plant it and apparently
Well,
it'll be fine. So keeping seeds is quite important.
Yeah, what we do is we give them away.
Yeah.
Like we don't we give away so many plants
That's
and
lovely.
everything. We just give them to people and tell them, put them in the ground. The bees love this. Stick it
So
in
if
the
I get
corner
a load
your
of
yard.
watermelon seeds from you, I can just plant a seed every 100 yards right down your road when we leave, and then we'll have watermelons growing on the side of the road. Technically, you could do that.
Totally.
And then the animals and the squirrels would have something to eat, and they wouldn't come and steal your pineapples.
Well, the cantaloupe.
The cantaloupe.
The cantaloupe that we just ate 2 days ago. I just ate a cantaloupe. It was a volunteer. We call them volunteers because we take
they self-seed.
we take our food scraps and put them around our banana trees.
Yeah.
And so the soil gets really rich.
Nice.
But then something will grow, and we have tomatoes growing.
Oh, I
under.
love that. It's
we
so
have-
ad hoc and unexpected.
It's
so
totally
beautiful.
It's just the world saying,
And you really enjoy it when you eat
totally.
it
It's
because
so delicious.
this got its way into creation.
well,
didn't
it wanted to be here.
Yeah, exactly.
This cantaloupe wanted to be here.
Yeah.
It wanted to bring me joy and happiness. And so I took its babies, its seeds, and I scattered them all over.
That Johnny Appleseed.
So
Well, that's wonderful.
I want to thank you for the beautiful book.
Oh, yeah, that'll be
Sarah
good.
brought me another book on natural medicine.
Yeah.
And also a beautiful gown. Thank you.
Yes, let me know how it looks. It's going to look really
so I have
nice.
my sister's getting married for the third time.
Oh, is she?
And she's super happy.
Do you like her boyfriend, her fiance?
I like everybody.
Yeah.
I resonate.
Apart from your neighbour.
Well, I love my.
No, I know. I'm just busting on you.
I truly love him. I actually feel sadness and compassion for him because when you're in a marriage that's like 50 plus years and your spouse is really, really negative, that bleeds over into your
God,
life.
I don't know how people stand that.
So he owns it. Like he's the one that married the lady, but
Well, he married for better or worse. And
right. And so,
he's gonna-
but
he's going to live loads of lifetimes. He's going to be
yeah,
reincarnated.
he can come back and do it again next time.
Jesus.
Maybe learn your lesson. And,
Yeah, she'll come back as his daughter next time.
Oh my God, there's a piece of work. So, but I just love everybody the same, and if they don't resonate with me, that's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I just want them to be happy.
Yeah.
And if their happiness does not include me, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's all right.
I think one of the things that I've learnt not to do is take things personally. It's nothing to do with you. It's not your fault. And for me, it's like, well, what have I done? Am I not this? Am I not that? I've grown out of that. I mean, I don't do that now, but I used to. And I used to think I'm the problem. And then I had to give myself a good talking to. It's like, fuck, you're not the problem. You're fine.
That's so good because last week I had this girl that she was paralyzed by what people think.
Yeah, it's terrible,
It's
isn't
like,
it? God.
She was totally paralyzed. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, girlfriend, come here. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about this. I said, first of all, you take all this stuff personally. You're so concerned about what people think. Spoiler alert, most people don't think. They literally, like you were talking earlier about the value of thinking and managing your thoughts and focusing your thoughts and such. Most people don't even give a thought to their own thoughts.
No, they're just caught up
They're
in
just
thought
like
forms.
randomly, they pass a bulletin board or a billboard or some TV commercial and they're instantly moved. Their thoughts are moved in that direction.
Yeah.
And so most people don't think. The second part to that is
Think critically. They're always thinking. They're caught up in thought forms, or outer reality will distract them. But you're talking about critical thinking.
well, I'm talking about thinking in general, like in terms of focused, coherent, energy.
Critical. Yeah.
Critical thinking. The second thing is when they do think, they're almost always thinking about themselves. I mean, I'm being brutally honest. Most don't think. The ones who do think are almost always thinking about themselves. So the odds of them thinking about Sarah.
Yeah. Don't flatter yourself.
Don't flatter yourself. They're not thinking about anything. And if they do, they're thinking about them, not you.
Yeah.
So if you want to wear those socks with those shoes, do it.
Good.
If you want to wear
That's good advice, and you gave this to her. I hope that shook her out of her somnolence a bit.
And you know what? It actually brought her relief.
That's good. I was going to ask
And
that,
I told her, I said, you know what? No matter what you wear, no matter what you say, no matter what you do,
just be you and be
I
free.
love you unconditionally.
Yeah.
You're okay just like you are. So set yourself free. Did you used to think this way when you were 5 or 3 or 7? No. So you've learned. This is a learned response. It's not natural to be so hyper concerned about what other people think of you. Let it go.
Let it go.
Be yourself. And when you're yourself and you let your beauty resonate, it attracts people.
Yeah.
People come to you because they want to be by you.
Right.
Because you have something that they want.
Yeah.
They want to be true. They want to be
free
and resonant too.
Good.
So,
That's great advice.
you're good advice. So let's wrap up. Any closing thoughts about today, but also for people who want to know how to find your works?
Okay, so my novel, The Starside Prophecy, is free on YouTube. The Starside Prophecy, Sarah Thierry, listen to that. That gives a breakdown of what I believe the nature of reality to be. And then I've got Is This the Best God Could Do, which breaks down Christianity and why I believe the God is not separate. And I have The Mirror World. Have a load of books which are interesting, so feel free to go online. And nothing else today. Next time I want to talk to you about the Light Age Church of Transformation.
I want to hear about your church.
About
but
that.
You also have an audio, like you recorded one of your books.
Yeah, that's the one that's on YouTube.
So tell me,
that's The
how do
Starside Prophecy, and that's on YouTube.
So they can find that on your channel on YouTube.
Yes,
All right.
Sarah Thierry.
Okay, thank you, dear.
Lovely
We'll see you
talking
next
to
time.
you.
Thanks for
Yeah.
stopping by.
Very good.
Soul Decodes, a feature presentation, airs every Friday on the Earth Angel Media Network. This episode of Soul Decodes is sponsored and produced by Live Pure. Optimize your life by taking your health to the next level. Listen now to learn how Live Pure will make your world better.
Live Pure is an American-based distribution system of online portals that give discounted access to clean, potent, natural, and ethically sourced healthy solutions for fat loss, muscle gain, immaculate skin care, immune system support, whole body cleanse, physiological balance, and performance support for athletes of all ages. Live Pure handpicks the best products and nutrients from world-class companies, always adding to their quickly growing wellness lineup that now includes Korean skincare, medical-grade nutraceuticals listed as pharmaceutical alternatives in the physician's desk reference, and healthy coffee that rivals the world's best, but for only about $1 per cup. Soul Decodes listeners looking for vitality, youth, beauty, and better health can get 25% off retail by visiting livepure.com/Sarah Thierry and signing up for free as a preferred customer. If you are a content creator, influencer, or home-based entrepreneur looking for worldwide cash flows from the emerging gig economy, Live Pure's state-of-the-industry brand partner affiliate program can bring you up to 7 different payment vectors as bonuses. As a content creator aligned with Live Pure and Earth Angel Media, you will enjoy massive co-marketing benefits, including a cutting-edge website that is personally branded to you or to your business. Sign up as a brand partner at livepure.com/Sarah Thierry. Or drop us a note at connect@earthangelproject.com to get more information.